everybody, this is TaNaia coming to you today with the full moon in Aries reading. Looking at the chart, the full moon in Aries is happening on the 29th of September at 9:57 Universal Time or UTC at 6 degrees exactly. Be sure to make adjustments for where you are on the planet. I do like to use this time, the universal time, and to put it the full moon according to the houses based on the specific time, and then of course the space, as I said, you can adjust based on where you are on the planet. So this gives us a way to understand the intention for the full moon itself, for us collectively, and then of course when we go to an individual basis, then we can really drill in to how this intention might apply to our lives specifically. So firstly, just to talk about the 6 degrees, right? So 6 degrees of Aries is where the full moon is happening. Now, if you're familiar with Sabian symbols, John Sandbach has done a lot of work, great work, in getting or channeling the meanings of all the degrees in the zodiac. And so I use his omega symbols in the same way as you would use the Sabian symbols. And so for 6 degrees Aries, the omega symbol is an actor forgets his lines and makes up new ones. So an actor forgets his lines and makes up new ones. So this speaks to the need for you to play yourself in the drama of life, right? So not necessarily following the script, but living according to what is true to you, right? Understanding or being aware of the fact that other people have expectations on you, perhaps based on their own projections or on societal norms, but being who you are and being with people who accept who you are and appreciate your real self. And so when you act spontaneously and off script in that way and authentically, you give others the freedom to do the same. And all these fixed roles that we have, they fall away, and it enables you to flow with the universe, and you can make up your own script and your own part as you go. So in that way, if there's any obstacles or challenges that come about, we're able to navigate in a smooth manner based on whatever it is that we encounter, as opposed to trying to follow a script. So I thought that that's a very interesting degree. So this full moon has got that element of being able to be yourself. I mean, Aries is about self, so being able to be yourself, not following the script, and giving others the freedom to do the same. Now, as you might already know, I always like to look at the ascendant. The ascendant is what I consider the intention of the soul, of our collective soul, of the human soul for this full moon. And you'll see that it is, for this full moon, it is in Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius is a human sign. It represents the struggles that we have between our lower and our higher aspirations or our energies in our lives. And it really makes us make a conscious decision of reorienting ourselves to higher consciousness. And this means perhaps even having to look at, what is my purpose in life? And once you aspire to that higher purpose in life, then it becomes our goal. And the challenge then becomes using the lower self, or subduing the lower self or the personality in service of the higher self. But the clearer we are of what the goal is, and according to this chart, that would be the midheaven, and we'll talk about that right just now. But the clearer we are of the goal, whatever we aspire to, the more we'll be able to have control over the lower nature in order to attain our highest goals. Now, if we look at the midheaven, as I mentioned just a second ago, the midheaven is in Virgo. So this is the goal that we are aspiring to. This is figuring out what skills, what tools, what processes, what methods do I need to figure out, do I need in order to figure out what the goal is or what the purpose is, or maybe even in order to accomplish. So, looking at what skills can I use, what is at my disposal in order either to attain the goal or to accomplish the goal. So if we look at the full moon as well, we'll see that it is in this Libra Aries axis, right? The axis of self and others. And if we look at the house placement for the collective soul, it's actually still in the 4th house and the 10th house. So there we're talking about my Aries, so my inheritance, my home, my foundation. And when we speak foundation, we're talking, it could be spiritual or it could even be psychological. So my foundations. And here in the 10th house, we're talking about things like, what is my social responsibility, right? What's my career? What is divine will that's been revealed to me? What is the purpose that I should be striving towards? So this is in service of others. Again, if you look at the 4th house on this chart is actually in Pisces, and the 10th house is in Virgo. So again, what is it of mine, of my foundations, of my psychological foundation, something that is inherently mine because of what I've inherited biologically or spiritually, that I can use to be of service to others. So what we want to do is look at, how do I use what I have for in a practical way. So what's a practical way that I can be of use to the greater good, right? Or to the whole, or to humanity as a whole. I mean, it sounds like, high aspirations, but that's exactly the point of the intention of Sagittarius, is to have those high aspirations. And then with the new moon, what it's going to do, it's going to show us what is the way in which my unique background, who I am at the core, is going to be able to contribute to the greater good of all. What skills do I have that I can put to practical use? So that's what the full moon is going to show. Full moons are about culminations or highlighting. So you can expect that something is going to be highlighted about yourself, your home, or where you come from, that you can use that you can put to practical use for the greater good of all. Now, to see how this might apply in your own life, you'd have to look at your own chart based on where you are in the world. For example, for me, the full moon actually, so this axis, it falls in my 2nd house, right? So it falls in this axis, in my 2nd house and in my 8th house. So it's talking about, how do I use personal resources, including money, but also spiritual resources and values. How do I use these for the purposes of transformation, or even for helping others to transform their lives? How do I use those things that I think are mine? How do I use them for the rebirth of consciousness in others? So that's just a quick example of how this might play out in your particular example. So you'd have to really look at where does this fall in your chart in order to apply it to how does this work for you. So I've tried to keep it really simple this time, and to keep the message really simple so that you're able to apply it in yourself, even if you don't have your own chart, just to understand that the new moon is on this axis of self versus others. How do I use what I have, my background, who I am at the core, for the greater good of others? In what practical ways can I use that? And the full moon is highlighting whatever it is about me, about my home, about could even be about my mother, about where I come from, that can be used for the greater good of all, that can be used for social responsibility. Okay, so that was just reiterating. Now, one last thing that I want to talk about is, again, I've spoken about this before in previous videos, but I want to talk about this minor grand trine. As we can see, it is still in operation at this full moon. And just as a reminder, we have Uranus trine Pluto. Okay, so the trine is talking about a free flow of energies. It's linking freedom with power. It's linking higher mind or intuition with our soul's evolution. It's linking unexpected changes with transformation. So these are all things that collectively the energies are actually free flowing. We can benefit from these energies, and we can actually make these changes with the support of these planets. Now, if we look at the sextiles here, so you've got the Uranus Neptune sextile and the Pluto Neptune sextile. Now, if you look on this side, this is about spiritual awakening, if you think about it, because Neptune is about spiritual things and Uranus is awakening, or intuition, right? That aha moment, that's Uranus. So it's talking about a spiritual awakening. It's talking about applying higher mind to spiritual questions or concerns, and perhaps even receiving enlightenment, as you can see. So spiritual enlightenment. So these are the opportunities that are available for us at this point in time. Now, if we look at this sextile here, the Pluto-Neptune sextile, it makes us really question life. It makes us question our belief systems. It makes us want to reimagine what life should be. It makes us want to destroy what is no longer serving us, and to rebuild as a collective and take the evolutionary leap. That's Pluto, the evolutionary leap for our greater good as humanity. Now, these are developing energies that we are experiencing collectively. And as you can see, all of these planets are, in fact, even Saturn, all of these planets are retrograde. So what that means is that we've been called to go into the stillness of ourselves, to listen to what this means to each and every one of us, and to use them constructively to build a better world, a better reality for all of us. So I hope that this has been informative and has given you some ideas of what to look out for at this full moon. And just to reiterate, the full moon is going to help highlight something about ourselves as individuals at our core that can be of practical use and in service to the whole. I hope you really enjoyed this full moon video. I hope that you are going to get some benefit out of it. I am available for private chart readings, so we can look at your birth chart, and we can even look at what this means specifically based on your own birth chart. If you want to get in contact with me, my contact details are in the box below. Otherwise, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. See you soon. Bye.